Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to speak in opposition to this bill. The civil justice system in our Commonwealth plays an important role both in helping to regulate conduct and in compensating victims. Anytime a small shopkeeper says to the kid who stocks the shelves, here's a snow shovel and a bag of salt, go out and clear off the walk before somebody breaks a leg and sues me, it's the civil justice system that has caused him to do that. Similarly, when a larger entity hires a local towing company to plow the parking lot and make sure it's done by 6 a.m. before anybody gets here, and then asks that the towing company also have insurance, it's because they are afraid that not clearing the parking lot will cause an accident, somebody will get hurt, and blame them for not having taken care of their premises. So the purpose of the civil justice system, in addition to helping compensate victims of somebody else's negligence or worse yet, misconduct, it also helps regulate the conduct of many people who don't want to be sued. You've seen it yourself, I'm sure. You have a bump on your sidewalk and somebody tells you better get that fixed or someone could get hurt. So you get it fixed and no one gets hurt. And it's been working that way. Now the bill that I am discussing today, House Bill 1037, actually does not deal with compensatory damages at all. It deals with punitive damages, which are very, very, very rarely given by juries in Pennsylvania, and only when the jury finds that the conduct complained of shocks their conscience. Only when a jury finds that there was active misconduct that caused the injury, or God forbid, the death, will a judge even allow a jury to consider punitive damages. For those of us who are not lawyers, the seminal case in this area was the Ford Pinto. It happened a long time ago, but it sticks in our memory because it was a case in which it was proven that the Ford Motor Company could have fixed the problem with the gas tank on the Pinto for about $10 a car and decided not to do it because the chances of them getting hit with enough compensatory damages to render that a good economic switch were not great enough to make it a problem. The jury in the Ford Pinto case said, in awarding punitive damages, we wanted Ford to take notice. We wanted them not to decide that $10 a car was too much to stop a fiery crash where an entire family got burned to death, was too much for them to bear. And as a result of that, the jury imposed punitive damages because we wanted to send a message. And that is the purpose of punitive damages. The bill in front of you today would limit punitive damages for some of the most vulnerable people in our society. Our moms and dads, our grandmoms and grandpops in nursing homes, vulnerable and in many cases unable to speak for themselves, even to ask for help. Even to ask for help, they lack that ability. So they must trust that the nursing home operator is making sure that the place is staffed correctly and well, and that those people who are in charge of our older loved ones are paying attention to them. Why would we want to limit punitive damages in those cases? In fact, the Pennsylvania Constitution, which we have all sworn to uphold, prohibits any limitation on damages except one case, workers' comp, where instead of a civil justice system, we have in place a system where the injured worker gets compensated without having to prove that someone else was negligent. Except in that case, in every other case, the Pennsylvania Constitution prohibits exactly what this bill seeks to do. And why is that? Because we recognize that the civil justice system helps keep people safe. What message are we sending when we limit punitive damages for our oldest and most frail elderly in nursing homes? What are we telling nursing home operators? And is that a good idea? I would suggest to you it's a terrible idea. When we have a loved one in a nursing home, we already feel guilty that we don't have them home with us where we can watch over them and take care of them. We are forced to trust the nursing home. We are forced to trust that they have adequate staffing. We are forced to trust that they are watching out for our loved one. And what message is the Pennsylvania General Assembly sending when we say, you know what, these people aren't worth that kind of concern? These people aren't worth it. We'd essentially be telling Ford, you can decide not to put a $10 part on the back of that gas tank because you can cover the compensatory damages from the number of people who will be burned to death because of the $10 part. Punitive damages are in a special class by themselves for a reason. We should not limit them. We should not send the message that it's okay to come here and treat the people we love with conduct that shocks the conscience of a jury. I would ask that you all please remember your own loved ones and vote no on this bill.